Hello and welcome to Black Women's History 2023, a series where we highlight the profiles of influential Black American women. This series is presented by the National Abolition Hall of Fame and Museum, whose mission is to honor anti-slavery abolitionists, their work to end slavery and the legacy of that struggle, and strive to complete the second and ongoing abolition, the moral conviction to end racism. Fannie Lou Hamer was a civil rights activist who fought tirelessly for the rights of Black Americans in the United States. She was born in Montgomery County, Mississippi in 1917 and was the 20th child of a family of sharecroppers. She began working in the field with her family at the age of 6, and by the age of 12 had completely left school to work. After marrying in 1944, she worked several years on a Mississippi plantation. Despite the many challenges she faced growing up, Hamer was literate and determined to make a difference in her community. In the early 1960s, Hamer became involved in the civil rights movement. Around this time, Hamer had become aware of the dire conditions in which many Black people, especially Black women, found themselves in. In 1961, she experienced the impact of racism in the medical field. While she was undergoing surgery to remove a uterine tumor, she was given a hysterectomy without her consent from a white doctor and was thereafter unable to have children. This practice by white doctors, who sought to lower the Black population by forcibly sterilizing Black women, was quite common, and in Mississippi was so prevalent that it was dubbed the Mississippi appendectomy. Hamer would go on to adopt 2 daughters after being unable to have her own. She also became a member of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee, SNCC, and worked tirelessly to register Black Americans to vote. Hamer faced many challenges during this time, including physical violence and intimidation from white supremacists. Once, when leading a group of people to register to vote in Mississippi, they were denied the right to do so due to some literacy tests and were fined for riding together in a bus that was, quote-unquote, too yellow. Afterward, Hamer was fired by the plantation owner she worked with for her attempt to vote, and she and her husband had to move to another town. In 1963, after completing a voting registration drive in Charleston, South Carolina, she and a few other Black women were arrested for sitting at a whites-only part of a bus station and were beaten at the county jailhouse. This beating left Hamer with lifelong health challenges. However, she refused to be deterred and continued to fight for what she believed was fundamentally right. One of Hamer's most significant contributions to the civil rights movement was her role in the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party. Her action in co-founding this party led her to national acclaim. In 1964, the Mississippi Freedom Democratic Party challenged the all-white delegation from Mississippi at the Democratic National Convention. Hamer gave a powerful speech at the convention, in which she recounted the brutal treatment she had received at the hands of white supremacists and demanded the integration of the state delegation. Her testimony was so powerful that it was broadcast on national television, bringing the issue of racial inequality in politics to the forefront of American consciousness. Hamer's desire for integrated state delegations would soon become a reality, and she herself would form a part of Mississippi's first integrated delegation. Hamer also worked tirelessly to improve the lives of Black Americans in her community. She established a cooperative farm that provided jobs and economic opportunities for local people through an organization she founded called the Freedom Farm Cooperative, and she worked to improve the access to education and healthcare. She also spoke out against the Vietnam War, helped organize the Freedom Summer to promote voting rights in the South, and ran for the House of Representatives at one point, though she was barred from the ballot, but helped found the National Women's Political Caucus in 1971. Hamer would pass away shortly after in 1977 from breast cancer. However, her impact on the civil rights movement was significant. She inspired countless others to join the struggle for racial equality, and her testimony at the Democratic National Convention helped to galvanize public support for the movement. Her work also laid the groundwork for future civil rights legislation, including the Voting Rights Act of 1965. All this despite the many challenges she faced throughout her life. Her courageous and dedicated civil rights activism altered the lives of minorities in the U.S. for the better. Thank you for attending today's introduction to the life of Fannie Lou Hamer. Please help us by completing a brief survey at the link available on the screen and in the video description. Your feedback will help NAHOF receive funding and plan future projects like this one. Also, feel free to contact NAHOF with any questions or comments via the comments section or at the contact info on your screen. Don't forget to follow us on social media, and we hope to see you at our next presentation. Thank you.